What's up, everybody? A Ward here, and I'm here to let you know that the A Ward Show is now officially brought to you by the Ripple to Wave Foundation, where they're manifesting waves of impact, one ripple at a time. Ripple to Wave empowers volunteers to create real change, from mentoring youth and protecting the environment to supporting those people in need. That includes seniors, veterans, and even animals. Yes, even animals. Every project is a chance to make your ripple in the community, and together, those ripples form waves of impact. The team at Ripple to Wave stays active with projects and events just about every weekend, and they're growing fast. Their Albuquerque, New Mexico team just launched their first project, and they're only getting started since their official launch on June 2nd of 2025. Get involved, volunteer, and learn more at rippletowavefoundation.org. That's Ripple, the number 2, wavefoundation.org. Follow them on all their socials at Ripple, the number 2, Wave Foundation on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to them on YouTube. Together, let's make some waves. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the A Ward Show. I'm your host and curator and videographer, and I am all the things. I am A Ward, and I thank you for tuning in to another episode of the A Ward Show. Look, man, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their grandma, their cousins, their mama, and them to pull up on the A Ward Show. Make sure you hit that link tree. And follow your boy on all his socials, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, whatever the case may be. You can find me there. If I'm not there, let me know. And I'm pulling up. If you guys cannot watch the video, for all my audio listeners, you can go check me out on your favorite audio podcast sharing platforms. I'm on Spotify. I'm on iHeart. I'm on Apple Podcasts and many, many others. And if I'm not there, like I say all the time, let me know. I'm pulling up. Make sure you guys follow my partners, Ripple to Wave, A Dot, who does the intro, my boy Lost Perception, who does the What You Heard music, and go follow them on all their socials. Their links are all in the description below. As I said on the last episode, we are going to be splitting up the segments into different episodes. So this is the sports section. We'll have What You Heard on Wednesdays, and we'll have Turn the TV Off on Fridays. I think that's gonna be how I'm going to play it out. We'll see how it works out. So music is going to be on a different day, and movies, games, stuff like that is going to be on a different day as well. But you know what I'm here to do, because you know it's my favorite segment. This is the segment where I talk about sports that I probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is Yo No Say Nada. All right, let's get into it, as it was a incredible weekend for sports, especially for football. Some news came out. We had some fights this weekend, which I had totally forgot about. And luckily, my daughter let me know, hey, the fights are on, Pop. And so we watched the main event for the UFC. And we'll get into a little bit of that. But we're going to start off with the conference championships in the NFL, where we had the AFC Conference Championship, the NFC Conference Championship, to see who the hell is going to make it to the Super Bowl. And we'll start with the earlier game. We'll start with the Broncos versus the Patriots in the most boring game I've seen in a while. This game was absolutely boring. Score ended up being 10-7. It was a defensive back and forth and a non-offensive back and forth. This had to be one of the most conservative games called on both sides for both teams. Point blank period. We'll call it what it is. Like both teams were trying not to lose the game. And it was very apparent by the second quarter. So many missed field goals on both sides. The one that was actually made the difference in the game for the Patriots, who ended up winning, like I said, 10-7. And obviously the news about Bo Nix, him not being able to play with the injury that occurred the game prior. Broncos starting Jarrett Stidham. Now, I will say this. Early in the game, first quarter, Broncos defense, and throughout the game for both teams, both defenses played incredible. But Broncos defense, man, was really, really stalling the Patriots. I mean, it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And then Jarrett Stidham, I think after the first 3 and out for the Patriots, I want to say it was the first or second drive of Denver's, things are kind of a little choppy because I was in and out of the game, kind of watching it here and there. But Jarrett Stidham throws a 50-something yard bomb to set them up, and they end up scoring a touchdown, and they go up 7-0, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, Denver came to play. And, elements were a big factor in this game. Snow, obviously the high elevation for Denver. And it did kind of seem that Denver, them being used to the high elevation, obviously both teams are very familiar with cold and snow. But, man, there was a minute there where I think a lot of us were like, well, shit, man, Denver might just go ahead and pull this off. Denver might mess around and do it. And Stidham, nicknamed Stiddy, there probably would have been some type of dance or some type of meme out in the streets had they won. But they scored that touchdown, and that was it. That was it for the rest of the game. Very, very conservative play calling. Like I said, even for the Patriots, it seemed like they were calling the game because, May had some turnovers in this postseason. Like, he was turning the ball over more than he had during the regular season. So it seemed like the Patriots were really, really trying to keep May out of his own way. And, they ended up winning. But even at the end of that game, they call a play basically like, if this isn't here, then just throw the ball away. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, just rolled out, tossed it out of bounds. And you're like, okay. I mean, I get it. They're up, right? Now, real quick, I want to talk about there was the Stiddy fumble that they blew the whistle on, and the Patriots recovered it. They ended up reviewing it. Call it a fumble. Patriots recovered it. They would have recovered it for a touchdown, except they blew the whistle dead. And luckily, the Patriots ended up scoring anyways because it was right in the red zone. But, I mean, in that instance, as a ref, like, hold the fuck on. Just hold on. Just wait a second. Let the play out. If it wasn't a fumble, if it wasn't an incomplete pass, you guys can review it, right? But had the Patriots not scored a touchdown there, I mean, I don't know, man. These refs got to get out of the way. They were letting them play for most of the game, really. And they kind of have been throughout the playoffs. I will say that. But even like when he blew the whistle, it was just some time had gone by. Like it looked like a fumble. Patriots recover it. And then it wasn't until they actually recover it that he's like, nah, hold on. And blew the whistle, They got lucky, man. Them refs, 'cause, man, New England would have cooked them refs. You would have been, man, the fumble, man. The fumble. I think a lot, I do, we don't know, but I do think Bo Nix would have made a difference in this game. I do. Because in a game like this that's so close, the difference in quarterbacks being bad to good, good to great, great to elite is really this. It's depending how, if you're elite, they call the game for you to take the hell over. If you're great, they call the game to put you in positions to take the hell over. Like if you're elite, it's just like, hey, man, it's on you. Figure it out. If you're great, it's like, hey, we know you can make some really good plays. We're going to put you in position to do that. If you're good, then they call the game for you to take certain shots at certain moments, but it's in conjunction with the rest of the play calling. They're trying to set you up. They're trying to set it up for you to be able to do something good. If you're bad, you're bad. They're just trying to call the game for you to not screw it up. And I feel like if Bo Nix would have been in this game, he would have been like, hey, man, I got it. Like, we got to go get it. I know we're trying not to lose the game, which they ended up doing anyways. But Bo Nix would have been like, I don't care what y'all talking about. And that's what good, great, and elite players do, especially the great and elite. And I'm not saying Bo Nix is at that tier yet, but he does have that type of moxie where in this game, I feel like at the end of the game, he'd have been like, nah, man, I got to at least try something here. If I turn the ball over, if something happens, okay, that's on me. But I feel like if he was in this game, he would have been like, yeah, I got it. Sean, I hear what you're saying in the headset. I hear what you're saying. Bump all that. Watch this. But other than that, man, like I said, this game was really boring. You know, Denver's defense was really good. Patriots defense was really good. And we'll get into the NFC Championship in just a moment here, but the Patriots are gonna have a tough time in the Super Bowl, I feel like. So congratulations to the Patriots who are back in the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Mike Vrabel, who becomes the first coach to ever play and coach the same team in the Super Bowl. Fire. Congratulations to them. Now let's get into this NFC Championship game. I think the one that we were all excited to see. The one that we were all like, yes. Because we got probably the two best teams overall this year. Just from, like, take the record out the window, and they both, obviously, Seahawks were number one seed in the NFC. And I know the Patriots, the Broncos, that was 1 and 2, and they were really, really good teams, great records. But just from the aesthetics, what we had seen throughout the year, I think a lot of us felt like Seattle was definitely a premier team, and a lot of people had the Rams in the Super Bowl. I did early in the season. I picked the Seahawks right before this game because I did feel like they were just getting better at the right time, and Stafford had struggled the last couple of weeks. So I didn't know, and they play each other tough. So it was a pick 'em either way. But this game, I mean, the first 5 minutes of the game were exciting. Out the gate, we were like, okay, cool. Forget what we saw this morning. This is what we came here for. And out the gate, the run game for Seattle, Walker walking him down, Walker. Kenneth Walker was walking him down early in this game. And it set up Seattle's play calling beautifully because it kept the Rams defense honest. And they were able to not just use the run game, but use the short pass game, intermediate passes, a lot of good slip screens some smoke and mirror type calls, motions to, move defenders another way, be able to just throw the slip screens. I mean, beautiful, beautiful play calling. Like chef's kiss. Chef's kiss to Seattle's play calling. Now, Stafford had a really good game. And we'll get to one of the large reasons this game ended up being the way it was, which was 30. I didn't say this yet if you haven't seen it. 31-27, Seahawks won. But he early in the game, he was missing some layups, and it started to look like Stafford wasn't going to have such a great game. Now they changed the play calling and started using Kyron Williams and Blake Corum a lot more. Started running the ball more. Started to set up the play action a lot more, and Stafford was able to finally get in a rhythm and start getting into that guy Puka Nacua. Who, look, the Rams have their offense this year was incredible, and the addition of Devontae Adams, made a huge difference. Even though Puka balled his ass off this year with injuries too. Balled his ass off. And he did again in this game. Stafford looked really good. You guys can go check the stats. They were amazing. But the run game really started getting him into a flow where he could find Puka a little bit more. He found Devontae Adams a couple times on some really big throws down the stretch in this game. And it felt like, hey man, the Rams might mess around and come back and win this thing. But the biggest play of this game was the punt return fumble by the Rams was DJ Khaled. Major key. Major key. And he had fumbled on the punt return that they had before that, and they were lucky enough to still gain control of the ball. So this one he fumbles. I mean, they're in the red zone and fumbles it. Just get the hell out of there. He's backing up. Obviously he's not able to judge the ball and see where it's at. I mean, it's obvious. He wasn't able to see where it was. It's like an outfielder with the sun. And it was like, I think it's in front of me, but it might still, I don't, oh shit. And just fell on his ass, fumbled the ball, and Seahawks gain control of it, end up scoring. And I think that was the huge difference maker in this game. They ended up pulling him and just having Kyron Williams go in there just for punt returns to be able to just secure the ball. You don't even need you can fair catch it and just catch it. Just make sure you don't fumble it. And proved to help a little bit there. But that was major. Now, I think there was a moment where the Rams were in the red zone. They went for it. And there was, because it was 27. Yeah, it was still 31-27 at the time. And a field goal obviously would have put them down by one. There's been some conversation as, do you go for the field goal and then that way you don't have to score a touchdown if you end up getting the ball back? You can just try to get yourself in the field goal range to win the game. I mean, I don't know. I just thought Seattle's defense on those 4 downs in the red zone was just, they locked that shit down. I mean, Stafford had a couple good throws that the Seattle's defense was like, yeah, nah, man, you're not scoring. You might want to kick that field goal. You're not scoring. So did it play a role in it? Maybe in the end, because the play calling had to be a little bit different. And then there was the Seahawks defensive back who damn near. I mean, damn near gave this game away, because the reason that they were even this close is Seahawks get a fourth down stop or third down stop that would have made it fourth and whatever. I mean, just great defensive play by Woolen. And then he walks right by the ref. He's, jarring it up with the sideline, with the Rams sideline. Okay, cool. Talk your ish. We seen it. And the ref's like, hey, man, all right, get on up out of here. And he's like, nah, man. I want to talk to everybody on the Rams sideline. Unsportsmanlike conduct. First down. And it's like, bro, the ref is telling you right then and there, I'm about to throw the flag. And then when he got the flag thrown on him, he was like, oh, man, what did I do? And then they came right back. The Rams came right back and was like, watch this. Where's Woolen at? Oh, right there? Cool. Threw it right at him. Oh, you want to talk all that ish? Touchdown. And it was like, it felt like a momentum change. But Darnold, the Seahawks, Darnold played. He had his best game of the postseason at the right time. Because as good as that run game was for Seattle early, if Darnold doesn't play, he had 3 touchdowns. If he does not play the way that he played in this game, no turnovers for both teams, but no turnovers for Darnold. If he doesn't play that way, man, the Rams win this game. And that's what I think a lot of people were worried about. Darnold's kind of polarizing that way. Can have some really, really, really good games and then some terrible games. Doesn't always mean the team's going to lose, because we've seen him have bad games and then still win. But he played lights out, man. He played amazing. And I said last week, and I've been saying this, I think the Darnold conversation is over. I think it should be. Darnold is like that. And, I understand the Vikings, they had, a high draft pick. They had to try to give him an opportunity. But, man, I know Jetta and Addison and Aaron Jones, and I know a bunch of them cats over there looking at Kevin O'Connell, man. Looking at that GM, looking at the ownership and being like, man, what the are we doing? So I understand the Vikings thinking and getting, not willing to pay, Sam Darnold, because they had this rookie that they drafted high. But, man, 1 year later, Darnold was on the Seahawks. And, I've seen a lot of people revisionist history and being like, a bunch of people could have had Darnold, especially for that contract. I mean, I just don't know why nobody would sign. I know the Seahawks. I mean, look, these same people who are saying this are the same people who said, hey, we get it. If I'm the Vikings, I wouldn't pay him either. They were the same people who said, the Vikings have Jetta, they have Jordan Addison, their dog can throw to them, the Pope can throw to them, anybody can throw to them. And, now they're saying, oh man, I can't believe nobody signed Darnold. Revisionist history. Darnold's like that, man. And, I know a game has to be played for the Super Bowl. I was going to do my predictions later, but let's just get into it. I know a game has to be played. I know that there will be 2 teams on the field, and I know that, technically there's a 50-50 chance that either team could win. And this is no disrespect to the Patriots, but the Seahawks will be the Super Bowl champions. You can damn near book it. And I think a lot of us feel the same way. I don't want Patriots Nation, getting up in arms about it. This has less to do with the Patriots and more to do with how freaking good the Seahawks are. And I mean, who knows? Drake May might have the game of his life and Darnold might not in the Super Bowl. That might actually happen. But I think the Seahawks defense is fantastic. I think the Seahawks offense is fantastic, especially when the play calling and the execution is as good as it's been. And let's not forget their special teams. Now, I did say this when the trade, I said it when the trade deadline, when the trades happened, trade deadline, and the Seahawks got Rashid Shaheed, and I was like, damn, that's a damn good trade. Nobody's going to talk about it, but man, they just got a weapon. And he balled in this game too, offensively, and we know what he brings to the table for the special teams. So the Seahawks, again, are the most complete team. And I think there's just questions about the Patriots offense. Can they get going? Their defense is really good, but can they get going offensively? And will they call a game for Drake May to try to actually win the game? That's still yet, still has to be seen in these playoffs. Sometimes you got to live with turnovers. If you're taking shots, if you're taking chances to try to win a game, sometimes you got to live with one or two. It's going to happen. But we'll see. I have the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. We'll say, and I'm literally doing this on the spot right now. Give me the Seahawks 35-16. Give me the Seahawks 35-16. If they get going, it might get ugly, but I just don't think the Patriots have enough offense. If it turns out to be any type of shootout, I think the Seahawks are going to, it's not going to happen. So, congratulations to the Seahawks. Congratulations to the Patriots. And we'll dive more into news and stuff like that as the Super Bowl gets closer. Again, I have the Seattle Seahawks beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl 35-16. Now let's get into a little bit of the coaching news that happened this past weekend. And Mike McCarthy hired as Steelers head coach. And I think pretty much everybody is scratching their head on this one. And it's not, I think it has less to do with Mike McCarthy and his ability. I think he's a good head coach. Obviously he won a Super Bowl and we can say that was Aaron Rodgers, whatever. But this is strange because of who hired him, because the Steelers normally try to get somebody who you feel like can be there for the next 15 to 20 years. And maybe they think McCarthy can. He's a little bit older. He's a seasoned coach. Normally they try to get somebody young, kind of unproven, but somebody that they believe in. And so this hire to me makes me feel like the Steelers think they have a Super Bowl window within the next few years. It's still yet to be seen if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. I know Mike Tomlin was a large reason for him going there. What is the relationship like between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy? Is that something that will help Aaron Rodgers want to stay or make him, definitely retire? I mean, with Aaron Rodgers, we never know what he's feeling. Honestly, he could, he could wake up Monday and be like, yeah, man, I'm going back. And then Tuesday he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. So we don't know until we actually see it. But I don't want to say it's a bad hire. It's just a weird one. It doesn't feel like what the Steelers do normally. And they have a little bit older roster. I don't know. I don't think they have a Super Bowl window soon. I mean, I think it's really about time to reset, try to get somebody young in the next couple years at the quarterback position. Next year is going to be some good candidates after next college football season that will most likely come out and be in the draft as far as quarterback goes. This year, there's just not a lot there. And I think we all probably think that Fernando Mendoza is going to go to the Raiders. So it just feels like the Steelers think that their Super Bowl window is close. And I don't know. I don't think that. It doesn't seem that way for a roster that's a little bit older, especially if they bring Aaron Rodgers back. And then if he's not back, like they got Mason Rudolph. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Mike McDaniels, speculation, rumors, very, very good chance he's going to go to the Chargers as the OC, but he is still available. There's still a possibility that he might go to the Raiders as the head coach. There's some interest there. Now, if he goes to the Chargers, and if it happens, which I think is likely at this point, we'll see what happens with the Raiders. Man, first of all, you're going to have the two weirdest coaches ever coaching the same squad in Jim Harbaugh and McDaniels. But what he's going to be able to do, if he ends up being the OC for the Chargers with Justin Herbert and run game and how he's able to just scheme some stuff as an OC, look the hell out. Look out. And if he ends up being the OC for the Chargers, I'm willing to go out on a limb here. The Chargers will be in the AFC Championship next year. And possibly the Super Bowl. I'm serious. Because that I think he's that good of a play caller schematically. Say what you want about him as a head coach, but as a play caller offensively, schematically, he is that good. And the way he can create run game when there is no run game, the way he calls the plays to make it a little bit easier on quarterbacks, and Justin Herbert is he's talented. He's very talented. Top 5, that's we already talked about that. But talent-wise, Justin Herbert is very talented. And if he can figure out a way to protect Justin Herbert, get him a better run game, I'm telling you, they will be in the AFC Championship next year. Book it. So we'll see what happens with Mike McDaniels. The Browns, nobody wants to go to the Browns for obvious reasons. And then there was some news that came out that they have a litany of tests before you even get interviewed. Like some SAT type. I don't know. It sounds very Browns to be like, man, take these tests. And I saw Rich Eisen, he was like, yo, man, no joke. What just happened to Google me? Just check my resume, bro. What we need to do all these tests for? So, I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode, but obviously, the Ravens hired the Chargers DC. I can't think of his name right now. God, what is his name? Mentor? You guys beat it up in the comment section below. You guys know who I'm talking about. I think it's a good hire. We'll see. They did need help. Ravens needed help on defense. Like the offense wasn't the major problem. Injuries to Lamar. There was some play calling issues this year, being inconsistent with the run game, but their defense definitely needs help. And I think really good hire, young guy. We saw what the Chargers were able to do this year, defensively really good. So really good hire. We'll see. The Ravens, I think, they're one of those organizations that when they make decisions, whether you disagree or agree with it, I think they're a smart organization and they normally are right more times than they're wrong. So good hire by them. We'll see how that works out for next season. Now let's get into the UFC 324. Wasn't able to see the prelims, but I did see the main event, the main card. Overall, really good fights. I am a casual USC fan, so I try to watch as much as possible. I normally have a chance to watch the prelims, which I love watching prelims. I love watching the up and comers. That, like Van, I watched Van early. I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be fire. But didn't have a chance to do that, so watch the main card. Silva wins the decision versus Arnold Allen in a good back and forth first round. Kind of hard to judge second round. Felt like Silva definitely won the second round. Felt like he edged him out in the third round as well. The thing with Silva, he's going to bring the antics. He's going to bring the swag. You know what I mean? He talks a little bit of his ish, and rightfully so, man. Good fighter. Really good fight. Silva wins the decision in that one. Natalia Silva beat Rose Namajunas with in a boring decision fight. I mean, boring fight. Like, there just wasn't a lot of action here. And you know what's crazy is, like, normally the women's fights are normally good back and forth. But it felt like they were both trying to find the perfect shot, and none of them could really land it. Rose fought well. She had moments in this fight where it looked like she might have been able to win it, land that punch. But it was just a boring fight overall. Natalia Silva wins the decision. Waldo Cortez Acosta beat the fun Derek Lewis in a TKO. But Derek Lewis looked every bit of 40. He looked old in this fight. I think he ran out of gas pretty early. Derek Lewis, if he can catch you with that power that he has, it'll be a problem. But Cortez Acosta was, didn't back down, was very aggressive in this fight, and he ends up getting the TKO against Derek Lewis, who we'll see what the future holds for Derek Lewis. I mean, he's getting older. We'll see where he is in his career as far as continuing to fight. But no matter what, Derek Lewis is entertaining. He has one of the best quotables after a fight in him talking about who his next opponent is. And he said his wife, and he said there's going to be a lot of ground and pound. Go look that clip up. It's funny as hell. O'Malley wins a tough fight versus Song Yadong. Really good. This was a really good fight. Really good back and forth. O'Malley looked good, looked back, looked comfortable, and we'll see what the future holds for him. Obviously, he had lost a couple fights, and so it was good for him to get back, get a dub. Whether you like him, whether you hate him, he's a polarizing figure, and he's entertaining. So shout out to Sean O'Malley. He wins that fight. Now we'll get to the main event with Justin Gaethje, Arizona, versus Patty the Batty Pimblett. I always feel weird saying that, but that's the nickname. And man, what a fight. What a fight. I'm so glad that I was able to watch this fight. Great back and forth. The thing about Patty Pimblett, man, Patty can really take some hits, man. Like he's a tough SOB, man. He got hit a couple times in this fight and I know all these guys they're tough. Like you have to be. You can't step into the octagon if you're not a bad MFer. But man, there was times Patty got hit and he still had great energy and he just got right back up. And Gaethje was, he was in attack mode pretty much the whole fight. And landed some big shots, but then Patty came back and landed some shots as well. And this is what you want to see in the main event. Like no stoppage, which we've seen a lot recently. No quick, first round fights, first round endings, second round endings. You want to see this thing go the distance, and you want to see these two fight. And Patty and Gaethje, man, kudos to you guys. Gaethje ended up winning the fight in decision, but man, I would not mind a rematch. This was a fire fight, man. This fight was fire. Again, I'm a casual. I'm not a big, I'm not a UFC nerd in the sense of like I don't study it as much as I watch football, stuff like that. But I try to watch as much fights. I do love the UFC. I do love the UFC. I love the MMA world, and just really good fights. So, shout out to Gaethje, shout out to Pimblett. Amazing fight. Fire. And then we got another card this upcoming weekend, so I'll be tuning into that. And I will give you guys my feelings on that next episode, man. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of the A Ward Show and listening to me talk on Yo No Say Nada about my sports that I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Make sure you guys check out the next episode with the music, the next episode after that with the movies and what you heard. Turn the TV off, and stay tuned, stay tapped in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell their mama, their grandmama, their cousins, and them. Pull up on the A Ward Show. Make sure you guys hit that link tree. Follow me on all my socials. Make sure you guys follow the homies Ripple to Wave, A Dot, Lost Perception. If you can't watch the video, pull up on all the major audio podcast sharing platforms. Like I always say, you know where to find me. iHeart, Spotify, Google Play, Apple. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And I will talk to you, turkeys, next week.